Listen, y'all, perfection is not what's required. Oh, come on, Mike Head. Come on and I'll tell you about it. You want to know what it is? Come talk about it. I just sent you a direct invitation, Mike Head. If you want to know about my work record, come on up here. No, thanks. That's what I thought. Mediocre man with your ass in the comments. Be a big boy today and get on the panel. Be a big boy today. I'll be gentle. This is what the fuck is wrong with this country and the world. Mediocre men leading us off to war, cutting backroom damn deals, starving our children, deporting hard workers, and then want to cry about everybody else. I got it, Sandy. Thanks. Oh, but they don't, Sean. But they don't. And I'll invite you right on up as well. Sean, I sent you an invitation to join the panel. You want to join? Good morning, Reeds. Sean, I sent you an invitation to join the channel, the panel too. Let me guess, you're not coming either. Are you at work? Are you driving? Are you feeding a baby? What you got? Just saying. You're watching a movie? Well, pay the fuck attention to your movie. Why are you on TikTok? Or can you pause it? You don't want to pause it? I don't know. I'm not a Democrat, Mike. I see your back. Oh, you paused your movie, Sean? Great. Good morning, Sean.
So, the way you said, it's been a long time since there was a Democratic governor.
What do you consider to be a long time?
What you said, it's been since 2011 since there's been a Democrat governor
I just
in
told you that.
Tennessee.
I just told you that. Do you know what
So from
percentage?
20,
Do you know
so,
what,
wait a
Sean?
minute,
Sean,
go
hold
ahead.
on. Do you know what percentage of registered voters in Tennessee voted in 2022?
No, I don't pay attention to that. But I'm just saying,
Jesus Christ.
how did Donald Trump win Tennessee if they don't vote? That's what I don't understand.
What do you mean?
How did
How do you not understand
Tennessee?
that?
Wait a minute. Tennessee, Donald Trump won Tennessee. It's a Republican state. How did he win it if they don't vote?
Okay, so let me be clear. When the majority of the population doesn't vote, the few people that do will determine the winner. So here's what we know, statistically speaking. Whenever you have higher voter turnout, then typically you will have it will be the progressive candidate that wins. Low voter turnout usually leads to Republican wins.
I still don't catch you. I don't know how I can put this. I don't understand it very well.
Okay, so let me slow down. All right. So if you have so let me just use numbers. So let's say that I'm going to use just really small numbers just to make a point. So let's say there are 100 people total in the entire state. Okay. And of those 100 registered voters, 60% of them are Democrats and 40% are Republicans. Okay. But the Democrats, let's just say that they have only, I don't know, only 20% of all of the registered voters turn out. And out of that 20% that turn out, maybe 20 Dems turn out and 30 Republicans come out. That would be 50%, right? So if 50% of them come out to vote, but 20 of those are Democrats and 30 of them are Republican, the Republican candidate is going to win, even though there are more Democrats in the state. So I'm going to repeat it again, just for easy math. If there are 100 registered voters in your state, and 60 of those are Democrats, and 40 of those are Republican, but you have low voter turnout, whether people are working 2 jobs and they can't vote, or they don't have transportation and they can't get out to vote, whatever the reason is. If the 50% that comes out to vote, 20 of them are Democrats and 30 of them are Republicans, then that Republican candidate is going to win, even though, I know, Stacey, but even though that's the majority. So when I say anybody can win an election if you have low voter turnout, especially when you change voting districts and voting maps. Are you familiar with what gerrymandering is, Sean?
Not right off the bat.
Okay. Well, gerrymandering is something that happens all across the country. Okay. So here's what happens. Let's just say that, because I'm not a registered Democrat, nor am I a Republican. I have voted for Democrats and I have voted for Republicans. I voted for both. Okay. Now, let's just say that I have a district that I want to win. Okay. And I know that this particular county is made up of more Democrats than Republicans. And I'm a Republican that wants to win that district, right? So what I would do is when my legislature votes on our district maps, which they do every 10 years for a census, right? I'm going to break up that county so that a good piece of those Democrats go into somebody else's district, and the smaller part of that county goes into my district that's with another county that's a lot of Republicans. So when you redistrict the maps, you can prevent somebody else's vote from counting as much as it normally would when you
Okay,
split
wait a
up
minute.
your
Let
county.
me understand that. That means they will be cheating in that state to win.
Yes, and it happens.
Okay.
This is the thing. And here's the thing, Sean, it happens everywhere. And do you know what's crazy is? So there has actually been legislation in Congress that was brought to the floor to make it illegal to do that anywhere, right? And every single time, there's only one party that votes against it.
Okay. So let me understand. The way to say it is actually Donald Trump probably cheated in 2024 to win the presidency.
I'm not going to say that he specifically cheated. What I will say to you is that whenever a party redistrict maps, whenever they get involved in gerrymandering, or they do things to prevent people from getting out to vote, it's voter suppression, and it is a form of cheating, and it does impact results. So I'm not saying he specifically did, but what I am saying is that gerrymandering, voter suppression, I don't know where you're from. Are you from Tennessee, Sean?
I'm not very far from there.
Okay,
I'm
so
like the
go
I'm
ahead.
kind of like a state up above there. I'm in West Virginia, but I believe West Virginia is probably the same way Tennessee is
Yes,
in some
so
way.
in some ways you are exactly right. So I'm from Bristol, right? So if you like NASCAR or whatever, you'll know where that is. So I'm in that
Yeah.
northeast corner, and so I'm right by Virginia. North Carolina, I'm in Tennessee, and if I drive just a hop, skip, and a jump up the road, I'm in West Virginia, right? And
Yeah.
so, what a lot of people don't realize is that Southwest Virginia used to be Democratic up until 2008, and then it changed. And there's a lot of things that go into play when you put out fake information to people. That's a problem. When you redraw maps that disadvantage people, that's a problem. And it makes it harder for people that are like lower income. They make it really hard for low income people to vote, right? So like
I,
if you lose your ID, how much does it cost where you live to get an ID? Because where I live, it's like between 25 and $30.
about $7.
Okay, so where I live, it's more expensive. And so think about that. So think about people that need to get a state ID or they need to get a driver's license in order for them to be able to vote. Even though they've registered to vote, even though they've shown all their documentation in order to register to vote, right? And they are living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe they're on disability income. They don't have an extra $30. And if they're in a small town or a rural town, there's no public transportation. You know, in the big city, you got public transportation to take you different places. But in small towns, we don't have that, you know? So
Yeah.
when you make laws like that, it actually hurts low income people from being able to vote. And that inevitably means you're hurting poor people, you're hurting people of color, you're hurting disabled people because they don't make a lot of money. Like those are the people that get hurt because the rich can always provide an ID to go vote. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
those are the people they end up electing people that are going to do policies for them and not policies for the rest of us.
Okay. I see where you're getting from. So I basically voted for a guy that kind of rigged some of the voting states.
And many of them do. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And so this is the thing. This is why I want people to stop thinking about Democrats and Republicans. Okay? I want people to start thinking about policy and how that policy is going to impact regular people. Okay? So
Okay.
think about it like this. So where I'm from, the average median income is like $45,000 a year, right? That's about the average. And if you think about just the cost of groceries, the cost of your rent nowadays, your cost of all of those things, we don't need to be giving tax breaks to people that have hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars. What we should be doing, and what I think is responsible of the government to do, is to be able to say, okay, listen, how do we help the folks that are working? Because guess what? When they say that most people that get assistance don't work, it's not true. Did you know that about 70% of all people that receive Medicaid actually work? Did you know that?
No, not right up. Well, see, I'm disabled, so I don't know. I get discriminated if I try to get a job
100%
because I
you
have
do.
hearing aids.
So, and do you know what? Okay, so this is a great example. So, what we used to have, Sean, is we used to have laws in place, especially, let's just say you were going to go apply for a government job, whether that was at the post office or whether that was down at your VA, right? Whatever. So, if you applied for a job with the government like that, there were programs, there were laws about being able to hire you. And so what the government had is they call them Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C. It's just different labels, right? So if you were Schedule B, Sean, that means that you applied for that job. And because you have a disability, they're going to give you special consideration because they know you get discriminated against. And so they're going to want to hire you to try to level the playing field for people like you with disabilities. They did the same thing for veterans. A veteran would get special consideration because they'd served their country, right? I'm a veteran. And
Yeah.
so there would be different buckets. And the Trump administration, that's called affirmative action. Affirmative action doesn't mean you take away jobs for some people. Affirmative action is an executive order that JFK did, right? And here's all it
Yeah.
says. It says, listen, if you're a federal department or you're a private company that gets government funding, then you have to be proactive to make sure that people that are disabled, people that are minorities, people that are veterans, you have to have practices that make sure those people don't get discriminated against so they can get decent paying jobs. That's what affirmative action really is. And so when this administration went into office and said, we are getting rid of any DEI, any special considerations, that now means, Sean, if you go to apply for a job at the VA or at a government place, even if it's just working in the mailroom sorting mail, you no longer get a special consideration to make sure that you get the opportunity. You would have gotten that before, but Trump's administration did away with that.
Wow.
And does that make sense?
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
That
And
understands why I can't get any work with this company because of that affirmative action was taken away.
no, affirmative action would have given it to you, but he took affirmative action. He took that away. Affirmative action would have helped you. What you needed was somebody to help you walk through the system. So, for example, if you applied for a job, you needed someone to advocate for you, right? And be able to say, hey, listen, right? This person has a disability. What are your policies that, or is he being discriminated against? What are the other accommodations? So there's a law called DEIA, and that A is called accessibility. That's the program. It's DEIA. Because you are hearing impaired, right? They need to be able to provide tools and resources that give you access to what every other employee can have. So
Okay. Who do I turn to for that stuff?
yeah, so there are people, and there's not as many as there used to be, right? I know that DEI and affirmative action are not the same. I did not say that they are. I specifically outlined, sorry, Sean, give me just a second. I specifically outlined that they are two different things. They are not the same. I am aware of what DEIA is, and I know exactly what affirmative action is. I'm trying to give Sean a basic understanding of how those two things work to provide opportunities for people that you wouldn't normally have them. So let me look in West Virginia. Let me see, and I'll tell you what organization that would help you. Disability advocate, because you need a disability advocate. So there's an organization called Disability Rights of West Virginia.
Okay.
Okay. And do you have a pen or paper?
Get me one.
Okay, go get one, and I'm going to give you the number. Right, Daniel. Reasonable accommodations. Yeah, and the transit that you do have probably is only going to be working Monday through Friday, maybe part time on Saturdays. It usually doesn't run at night. You know what I mean?
All right, give me that number.
Okay. The number is 304 346.
346.
Yep, 0847.
Okay, I write that down.
Yeah,
So that
so
was, what was that name of that again?
yep, it's called the Disability Rights of West Virginia.
Okay, I was gonna give them a call. Maybe they can help me out. But like I said, I have many skills. I have skills in warehousing.
Mm-hmm.
I have skills in janitor work.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 15, 20 years in it. But I
Yeah,
can't get a job in it because of my hearing.
yeah.
I just say feel that if I can't hear them, I'm just annoying them.
Yeah. No, and there's something when you talk about work settings, there's something called reasonable accommodations, right? And it's just like me. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example, Sean. I'm a disabled veteran, right? And I've had 4 surgeries on my right knee, and I've had 3 procedures on my back. So if I sit at a desk for a long time, like even if I'm live, they see me. I change positions all the time. I have to shift in my seat. I've got a little special cushion thing here. If I were in a cubicle working, the company that I work for would have to provide reasonable accommodations for me, which means like a cushion for my seat or a little stool for my legs or allow me to get up and walk around every so often. There's different reasonable accommodations. And so all it is when you look at the different jobs that are available to you, as long as it's not a safety hazard, right? Whether you are like a janitor at a school, which schools get government funding, so they are covered by the Individuals with Disabilities Act.
The
All of
one,
those different things.
wait a minute. The store I've been trying to work at for years has been Walmart. I fill out applications after all that stuff, but they won't consider my application.
Yeah, I would
I,
ask.
I keep getting denied.
Okay, let me just look real quick. So, so there's actually been so the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, that's the EEOC, they've actually sued Walmart for not supplying reasonable accommodations for employees, right? And so like and this is more than once. Let me just be clear. They sued them this year. They also sued them in 2021. A federal jury, there was a disability discrimination case against Walmart that resulted in a $125 million verdict against them. So I would absolutely be talking to the disabilities services, the number that I just gave you, those advocates, because this
Yeah.
is a pattern of behavior that they have. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, so I would take a look at those types of things because what you need is an advocate. And this is, hey, facts people, thanks for joining. What you need is an advocate. You just need someone to help you navigate the systems and and the different programs that are out there. So when you contact the Disability Rights of West Virginia organization, ask them about advocates that they might have within their office, or if they even have, because they may have other contacts with other organizations that can help you.
Okay. I really appreciate it
Yeah, you're welcome. This is the part
because
that is important, Sean, because if people just start to talk about like your everyday situation, you get away from the rhetoric about red and blue and Republican and Democrat. You just start to talk about who's got the policies that are going to help me, who's got the programs that are going to benefit me and my family. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's what matters. Those are the people that you want going to bat for you. not people that are going to keep handing corporations like Walmart. Do you know that Walmart
So,
they're one of the largest corporations in the country, as you know, but their employees make up a good percentage of the people that still need to be on SNAP benefits and Medicaid. It's because they don't want to pay people a livable wage. You know what I mean? They don't want to pay
yeah.
people. Yeah. So
So,
you got
so
any other questions?
basically, so basically, Donald Trump takes away the lower income families' rights or income and give it to the higher ups.
Yep, that's what that one big beautiful
Wow.
bill did. Okay. So
Oh,
it
okay.
provided tax cuts for everybody. Are you on Medicaid?
I have Medicaid and Medicare.
Okay. Do you also get SNAP?
Yeah.
Okay, honey. So somebody needs to walk alongside you and make sure that you're going to be good to go. Because here's the thing. What has happened as a result of that one big beautiful bill is we are going to see people losing their benefits over the next 9 years. Okay, that one big beautiful bill it provided all of these tax breaks to really rich people, and in order to pay for those tax breaks, other people are going to have to pay more for their health insurance, and more people are not going to get their SNAP benefits. So I have will one of my subscribers, will one of my moderators, will somebody message Sean for me? And can Sean, I'm going to have somebody message you from my team. They will get, do you have an email address?
Yes.
Okay. I will get your email address, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you specific information about West Virginia and Medicaid and SNAP. Okay, so let me give you, just to kind of give you the deal. Hold on one second. It is, who did it? Not KFF. That's Medicaid. I need you guys. What's the site that did the calculations for the OBB? Hold on. Let me get it for you real quick. All right, got it. So I believe it was Centers for American Progress. KFF did one as well, but here we go. I got it. Let me make sure that this is the one that I want. Give me 1 second, Sean. I want to give you this real quick. Got it. Okay, this makes me okay. So this is an estimate. So here's what a bunch of experts did. They looked at the one big beautiful bill that was passed, and then they actually broke it down by congressional district. Sandy sent you a message, Sean. So look for a message from Sandy. Thank you, Sandy. And they actually outlined how many people in that congressional district are going to potentially lose their SNAP benefits and or their Medicaid benefits between now and 2034. So what I'll do is when you respond back to Sandy's message, she will give her your email. She's going to give it to me. I'm going to send you an email that's going to have the numbers for West Virginia, for the congressional districts, with some numbers for your representatives. And you're going to need to call your representatives so that you can tell them about your situation. And if you
Yeah.
want, somebody from my community can help you, so that, because you want to write it in a way, so you want to be able to say to them, listen, I'm disabled, I look for work, I get denied because I'm disabled, I have SNAP and I have Medicaid, right? And I want to work, I want to be productive, and yet these things that are being passed are going to hurt me, and make them help you. And so we can help you learn how to write that email and give them your information in a way that that they know exactly what you're talking about. I'll give them the links to, I'll give you the links to the bills and all the numbers, and we'll help you figure out who to contact. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you make sure that you stay around here. I'm gonna follow you so that I'll know you when you message me. But respond back to Sandy's message. She sent you a direct message. So I want you to respond back to her, give her your email, and that way we can send you the information that you need. And in the meantime, contact the Disability Rights Organization of West Virginia.
Okay, I'll do that. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. If you have any trouble, come back when I'm live and we'll help you, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right, honey. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, bye. So, this is the thing that I want people to take from that entire conversation, okay? This is what I wish, is that we could just start talking to people in everyday language, right? If you talk to people in everyday language, they will get it, right? And now you've equipped them. Notice I didn't tell him, I didn't say Trump cheated. I didn't say that. I didn't say Republicans cheat. I didn't say any of that. I explained how gerrymandering works. And I explained how people can end up winning an election because of low voter turnout. Thanks, Angie. Right? And then he goes, oh, so in other words, da 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 da. And what I love about that, for him, he already sent you his email. Whoop, whoop, go, Sean. So what I love about that is he figured it out for himself. So, like, there's this thing that we always say, right? When you tell people something, they doubt it, right? When they say it, they believe it. And all it is giving people, he came up with the conclusion, Darius, exactly. And so all it is being able to talk to people in a way that they can be heard, right? And they can get it. And here's my thing. One of the things that I wish people would stop saying, I cannot stand it when DC Dirty Girl, I make $12 an hour, yet you think my tax numbers need to go to people who make $18.25 an hour. No, DC Dirty, that's not the way that it works. So what you understand, for example, if you make less than, so we'll talk about like some of the proposals from last year. If you made less than $400,000 a year, right, your taxes would not have gone up under the Harris administration. And it's crazy to me that you're complaining that your taxes might go to support somebody who makes $18 an hour, but you're not complaining that your taxes are going to go to someone making $18,000 an hour. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense to me that you're more upset about the possibility, even though it would not happen, that your dollars might go to help somebody making 18, but you're not saying anything about your dollars going to help somebody that's making $18,000 an hour. Make it make sense. Yep, I saw it come through. Thanks, Sandy. Boy, bye. I'm not doing any Islamophobia today. None. So, what I really wish that the people in office would start doing is having conversations with people in a way that represents their everyday life, their everyday experience. It's not, he's on the phone with them now. Y'all, Sean has already called the Disability Rights Association of West Virginia. I love that for him. I love that for him. Right? But do you see? So let me just show you. All that is give somebody an understanding and a direction. That's it. You know, that's it. It's just about helping us advocate for ourselves and advocating for other people. That's it. You know? Right. Bunny smile. Sean said, let's go. um, this is why I cuss people like Christoph out, right? Is because he's too busy virtue signaling and condemning other people who aren't doing what he thinks they should be doing. But are you taking your time to help the average person? Right? That's it. You know what my hope is? My hope is he has a track record of all of those denials, and I hope there's an advocate that can put him in touch with the EEOC since there's an active lawsuit happening. Right? I'm hopeful that someone takes a look at what he has to see could he get a cut of anything that's happened. Right? And so this to me is what community looks like, right? And so I'm live I'm live everywhere right now, folks. So I'm live on TikTok, I'm live on Substack, YouTube, and Facebook. And so and then I will do my best to remember to clip it, although someone may have to remind me, and I'll clip it and I can send it out. If you are not on my email list, thanks, find out. If you're not on my email list, I have a sign up form that is in Salam Amal, that is in my link tree, and you can click that, give me your email address, and you'll be on my email list. And so if I post them or send things out or I do clips, then you'll be able to receive those as well. Right. Yeah. So happy girl. I am just feeling really confident in Afton's win today. I just really am. I think what people see when they see her is just a person that cares. They see somebody that walks the walk and walks the talk, and all of that. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. What's up, Petal? And so I think that this is what people are craving. Folks, that is how Zoran Mamdani won. Who was on the picket line with Starbucks workers in New York yesterday? Anybody know? It was Zoran and Bernie. It was Zoran and Bernie. But what's crazy is he's been doing this since before he was running for mayor. When he was a city council person, he went on a hunger strike with taxi workers. A hunger strike. You talk about walking the damn talk, y'all. Name for me another politician that has gone on a hunger strike with workers in the city. So if yeah, I put it somewhere. Yeah. So let me just say this. I say this all the time. People do not care how much you know. Finish it for me. For those of you guys who have followed me for a long time, what's the rest? People do not care how much you know until what? I'm waiting for y'all to type it out. until they know how much you care. You got it. Look at that. I love it. Every training that I do, that is like slide number 3 or slide number 4, right? Every training that I do, every workshop that I do, that's like slide number 3, slide number 4. Because it's true, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And that is why you have to lead with what's in their best interest, not telling them, but asking them, finding out from them, seeing what people need. Don't tell them, ask. Right? DJ, you're hilarious. So, Everett Jones, I would happily talk to your MAGA family. I talk to MAGA people often on this app. Often. Welcome back, Sean. I heard you already made a phone call. I love that. But you see, so let me just say this, y'all. It's really important that we stop labeling people in a way that makes them seem unreachable. Because what I have learned time and time again is that people are people at the end of every day. Yeah, but so Everett, it doesn't work exactly that way. Do you mind to come up and I'll show you? He said, I really want to work. I know you do. Everett, can you request as well for me? What's up, Sean? What'd they say?
They have to get back with me in a day or two
Okay.
with
And
an advocate.
yes, I love that. So see, now you'll have an advocate. And what I'll do, so that gives me time to put together an email for you. And then what I'll do is in that email is I will write like a list of questions for you to have for your advocate. Okay.
Okay.
And that way it'll give you just like a kind of a direction to go in the conversation.
Okay. I really appreciate it because, like I said, I like to work and everything. Being on SSI doesn't pay my bills or on my rent.
Right.
See, I only make $987, and it don't pay over $1,000 worth of rent.
Right. Yeah.
And that,
And that's
and
the
not to
thing.
mention the landlord, they charge first month's rent, last month's rent, and the security deposit. That's almost $2,000.
Exactly. Yeah. And none of that is doable for people. None of that is
Yeah.
doable. And so that's part of the thing that we're talking about is, so I'll tell you something else. So did you know that there used to be a regulation, there used to be a law that, let's just say that there was a house for sale in your town. And there used to be a law that said that house has to stay on the market to be purchased by a regular person for a year before a corporation can buy it, right? Under the first,
I never knew that.
yep, but under the first Trump administration, he got rid of that regulation. And so that is why a lot of homes all across the country have been purchased by companies like BlackRock and other capital venture capital folks. And that's why houses that you used to be able to rent for $800 a month or $1,100 a month, these corporations have bought them and they've jacked the rent up on them, and now people can't afford their housing anymore.
Wow, the way you're talking, I kind of, I don't know, just like this guy Trump.
Yeah,
The way you're putting it, man, I'm like, damn, I just wasted my vote on an idiot.
he's definitely not for regular people. He's not for regular people.
Yeah.
And there's no,
He's basically all for the rich buddies.
yeah, you got it.
Wow. Okay. I said next time I won't do this. If they're mentioning something about rich people, I won't vote for the person then.
That's right. And so that's going to be the thing. We want to start talking about if they're going to take away policies and programs that help regular people, you can bet that they are cutting things from regular people so that it goes to rich people. And that's not the way that it's supposed to be.
Okay. Explain me about what policy is good and what policies are bad.
Okay, let's do that. All right.
When I determine who I want to vote for.
Yes. So, okay, so when you're looking at who you're going to vote for, there are 4 main categories that I think most things come back to. And those 4 things are healthcare, education, housing, and then economics, like jobs or taxes, things like that. Okay. So the way that I tell people to remember it is it's called he. So HEHE, healthcare, education, housing, economics, or like how do we make money? How do we survive? Right. And so under healthcare, we have a healthcare system that is broken, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we do. And here are some of the problems that we have with healthcare. So we've got a lot of consolidation. Now, I don't know how old you are, but I'm old enough to remember when MCI merged with Ma Bell. You remember that?
Yeah, I'm 53 if I just want to know.
Oh, well, we're almost the same age. I'm 52. So in the 80s, remember when they broke them up because competition is good. But I bet where you live, almost every hospital, I would say you maybe have 2 different people that own hospitals around the area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when they consolidate power like that and they eliminate competition, prices go up. So you are looking for someone, when they talk about healthcare, you're looking for someone that says things like healthcare should be accessible and affordable to everyone. You're looking for people that say healthcare is a human right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But,
and so, go ahead.
But why can't they make it universal where everybody can get it and don't have to pay, I don't know, just high doctor fees?
And that's what some people want to do. So there are people that are in Congress that want us to have universal health care. And here's who doesn't want that to happen. The big billionaires that own the healthcare systems and that own the hospitals, right? So those people send money to people running for office so that those people vote against universal health care. That's what happens. So
the way you're saying, I'm kind of wanting to go change the party.
Yes. So, and that might be what's best. And so, like for me, I don't necessarily hello, Roger. I haven't joined a particular party, but I vote off of policy, right? And so, because I vote off of policy, most of the time I'm going to be voting for a Democratic candidate because while they're not perfect, they are better for the average person than the Republican Party tends to be, right? So when you hear people talk about universal health care, Medicare for all, or having health care that is affordable and accessible, that's a candidate that you want to talk to. That's a candidate that is working for your best interests. Okay.
That's like, for example, I should have went with Harris instead of this guy.
Yeah.
But there was some issues in there. I didn't know, like I don't know. She didn't have actual policies that I thought didn't help, but in a way it would have helped.
Yeah, her policies would have helped you. So for example, like we were just talking about rent, right? So
Yeah.
one of her policies was to actually take on those big venture capitalists that are buying up the houses and that are working together to make rent high everywhere. She was actually taking on those people to be able to make rent affordable. She actually even had some programs that were in her policies to help people who were first time home buyers
Yeah,
get 10
yeah.
grand.
But let me just explain this one. But see, I would be a first time home buyer, but I won't be able to get that $25,000 because that goes to the bank, won't? Right?
So the $25, the 25 grand is it's part of your down payment and whatever you might need for the house. And so even though the money is going to the bank, it's money that you don't have to pay because when you purchase a house, you got to put down a down payment, right? So
Yeah.
that money would have made it so that was money you didn't have to come up with. A down payment for a house, especially for people that maybe they don't have stellar credit, right? It makes it very
Like me,
difficult.
I don't have very good credit because of these high doctor bills before I got on the Medicare.
Okay, so here's another thing. So this is something that just recently happened. So there are several states across the country that those individual states passed laws so that medical debt couldn't be on your credit report. And it helped a lot of people. Donald Trump he just did away with, he introduced, hold on, I just told people about it. Trump medical debt, here it is. So the Trump administration is clawing back authority over states' medical debt protection. So he's actually making it so that people who have medical debt, that debt does go on their credit report and does count against them. But it had been done so that that didn't hurt people. And there were a lot of people that were able to, their credit improved because that medical debt didn't count against them, right? But he literally just
Yeah.
1 month ago, I'll make a note. I'm going to include the link to this for you so that you can read it. He literally is clawing back the medical debt, right? And it hurts people. It hurts a lot of people. And so these are,
Especially me,
yeah,
because before I got on this medical stuff, I had to go to the emergency squad, and I'm getting charged, oh God, almost $5,000,
yep.
in which I don't have.
And that's the thing that a lot of people, that's the key right there. So here's how universal health care would be better for all of us. Okay, so follow me, Sean. If you don't have health insurance, that means you don't have a primary care physician. You don't have a doctor that you go to regular, right? So
Yeah.
if you get a strep throat, if you get the flu, if you get, whatever, you're not going to your regular doctor. You're going to have to go to the emergency room, which means it's going to cost you and the hospital more money because you don't have insurance. And the other thing that happens is when people don't have insurance and they don't get to go for regular checkups, then they don't know that they have big diseases until it's really too late, right? So if you go
Yeah.
every single year and you get a checkup, then you would know if your blood work was off. You would know if you were going to have cancer or diabetes or whatever. But when you don't have insurance, you don't get to do preventative care. So by the time you find out something's wrong, it costs a whole lot of money to fix, and it's money that you don't have.
So, so basically, Donald Trump is attacking the ACA program.
Yes.
Wow, that is something new.
Yeah. And so what's really scary for people right now is in ACA, so here's the thing. Health insurance companies didn't want to cover everybody because it's going to cost them more money and they don't like to share their profits, right? So
Yeah.
what the government said was well, here's what we will do. The government will give a tax subsidy, right, to help cover the cost of that premium, and that way the insurance company gets money from the government, right? And then they are willing to cover the rest of us because you and I are the same age. Remember, there was a time when we couldn't get health insurance if you had a pre-existing condition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you so
I
like
have.
right
Well,
now,
I
go
have a
ahead.
sister that is. Well, my mom. She's like type 3 diabetic,
Hmm.
and she has no insurance.
Right. And so right now she could purchase insurance from the marketplace if it was affordable, right? But what's going
Yeah.
to happen is people that have been buying their health insurance from the ACA marketplace, let's just say that they were paying $200 a month before for that insurance. If they let the tax subsidies expire at the end of this year, those people are, some of them are going to have to pay like $1,200 a month for their insurance per month. Can you imagine?
Yeah. But let me ask this: since I'm on Medicare and Medicaid, and I get like the, what is that? United Healthcare, so
Hmm.
my premiums will still go up, even though it's funded by the government.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to look for that next month. Because right now it says I don't owe any premiums.
Okay. Well, and hopefully you'll stay that way and you won't lose your Medicaid because some people are going to lose it. And so that's the part that we want to be concerned about. But you want to stay on top of it, make sure that you're not going to lose yours and that you're going to be covered and you're going to be okay.
Okay. So let me, is there a site or whatever that can help me look for that stuff?
Yeah,
Or watch for
absolutely.
that?
Yep. I'm going to make it's in my notes for you and I'll help you. Yep.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you have Medicare and Medicaid?
Yeah, I get Medicaid through my SSI, and
Okay.
I get the other one through welfare office, DHHR.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Well, and this is the other thing. Yeah, he's going to need extra help. So because so under the Trump administration, they closed a bunch of the Social Security offices. So people are now having to call and they have longer wait times because they don't have local offices that they can just go into and talk to people, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean because I'll be on the call with SSI for almost 3 4 hours.
Yes. Yep. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't
No.
be that way. We should be able to pick up the phone and it shouldn't be this difficult. So like so let me share this with you. For your other medical bills, this is something that's important, okay? Every hospital has something called charity care, okay? Which if it's a nonprofit hospital, which many of them all are, but there's something called charity care. Every hospital has to give a certain amount of their health care for free for people that qualify, that they don't have because they don't make enough money. Okay. And so what happens is that so one of the things that would be helpful with your medical bills that you have, Sean,
Yeah.
is to find out did you qualify for charity care from those hospitals. So, for example, I know based on what you just told me about your disability, you should qualify because what it is whatever the federal poverty guidelines are for that year. So let's just say I'm just using fake numbers, but let's just say you're one person and you can't make more than let's just say the federal poverty guidelines of $10,000 a year. I'm just using easy numbers. Um, so the hospital says you can make up to 225% of that number and still qualify for either free health care or discounted care. So let's just say you make $18,000 a year. Well, you still would be able to qualify. Right,
Well,
DJ?
I make but $12,000 a year with my SSI,
Yep. And so you
and
would be able to qualify for charity care from the hospitals.
the hospitals never tell me that stuff when I go visit them.
Yep, and they're
So they
supposed
hide
to.
that from the patients.
Yes. So next
Wow.
time you go to the hospital, you need to, before anybody discharges you, you need to ask to speak to a case manager. A case manager is somebody that, and you ask them, what do I qualify for charity care or financial assistance? And there's a packet that they will give you where you fill out and you give information to them. But all of that, you just have to know to, and most people don't know to ask. Most people don't know to ask. And that's why I'm saying this is why more advocates are
Well,
needed to help people.
yeah. I'm one of them. I just go in and say, yeah, you know what's going on and stuff like that, and I take the word for it.
Yeah, because we think that we're supposed to be able to trust them, right? They're.
Well,
But here's the thing: the doctors aren't involved in the billing, so the doctors aren't going to bring it up. It's the. This is why. No, Pastor Mitchell, it doesn't depend on the state. If it's a nonprofit hospital, and the reason why it doesn't depend on if it's a state is because a nonprofit hospital gets that nonprofit status through the IRS, and so it's a federal
let
requirement.
me,
It's a
hey,
federal
let me talk.
requirement for those hospitals.
Okay, let me. I don't know what this hospital is. It's St. Joseph Hospital. Would they be classified as a non-profit hospital?
Well, hold on, I can look it up for you. It's St. Joseph's right there in West Virginia.
Yeah, I live in Buchanan.
Okay. All right. So, yep, they are. They sure are.
They're not. They
Yep.
a profit or a non-profit?
They are a nonprofit hospital. I'm actually looking at their
Wow.
nonprofit tax returns. They are a 501c3. They made $122 million in revenue in 2023, in fiscal year 2023. Um, yeah. So yeah, they're a
So,
nonprofit.
so they will make less money compared to a profit hospital.
Nope, that's not what it means. That's
Okay,
not what it
explain that
means.
one to me.
Yep. So listen, so nonprofit hospitals can still make a ton of money, a ton of money. Being a nonprofit or a for-profit doesn't mean one makes more money than the other. What it means is they are willing to do different guidelines and the structure of their business is different. So a nonprofit hospital has to go through. They don't have to pay any taxes, but because they are not going to pay any taxes, there are certain things that they have to do for the IRS, which is give charity care to a certain percentage of their patients, and they have to actually report it on their tax returns, right? So a for-profit hospital will absolutely have to pay taxes. One of them is going to have, they're both going to have board of directors, but they're going to have, so like they're going to have like trustees and the others are going to have, shareholders. You know what I mean? So it's different, and they
Yeah.
do write off a certain amount of that charity care. Yep.
Wow. I'm gonna have to check into this charity care stuff because maybe it'll actually probably help me a big time.
Yep.
Maybe some of my family members and friends.
Yep. And you also want to look at, so I'm just going to give you, so listen to this. Yes, nonprofit hospitals are legally required to provide charity care to maintain their tax exempt status under the ACA. And then there's specific eligibility criteria that they have, and it's going to be in their financial assistance. So like just now, I was on St. Joseph's Hospital, and I'm just going to go straight to their website, and I'm going to go to financial assistance. Okay, so I'm specifically on Hold on. Let me make sure I'm where I want to be. Yep, I'm at WVU. I'm on their financial assistance page, and I'll send you this in your email. And it'll say like who is eligible, how do I apply, what is covered. But I'll send you, and it tells you like what the federal poverty limit is, and it will do it up to 200% of the federal poverty limit. So, so I'll do that. And then you just need to see if your disability advocate can help you navigate this, to help get some of the things that's resolved for you that you already have.
All right, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm glad you opened my eyes to Donald Trump. I thought he was a good guy, but the way you're talking, he's a I don't want to say the word.
Yeah, no, he's not a good person for people. And
Okay.
yeah, and it doesn't matter what
He's
party.
basically for him.
Yeah, it's for rich people, right? That's it.
Okay.
It's crazy, but that's it, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing that they have $170 million to buy a jet, but they don't want to put the money in for SNAP benefits so people can eat. You know? Do you know that he actually
So,
remember when SNAP benefits weren't getting paid out earlier in November?
yeah, I remember that. But the way I was doing it, I was blaming Democrats for it. But actually, it's Donald Trump doing it.
And he literally went to court. He actually sued to try to not give people their food stamps.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
basically, basically, the Democrats were fighting to keep that and everything else,
yeah.
and the Republicans are taking it from us.
Yes. And the Democrats are fighting to keep the health care subsidies as part of the program so that people can still keep their health care.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate open my eyes to this guy.
You're very welcome. You make
So
sure
I
you come
think,
back anytime.
so I believe I'm changing party. I'm going to change party, and I'm going Democrat. I'm going to go all blue.
Well, I am all for that. I'm happy to help you out. And if you follow me, what I do when I'm live is as we get closer to elections, we talk about different candidates and we talk about their policies and we go through all of those things. So as we approach the midterms, if you're still following me, then you'll be able to ask questions about your candidate and hear all about those kind of things.
The only candidate I have right now is Shelley Moore Capito.
Okay. I'll have to look up and see who that is.
And she's a Republican.
Capito. Yeah, so
And I have no idea I don't know who's the Democrat candidate.
so that's what you need to find out. So Capito's challengers. So I'm looking right now. So there are. So that person's a Republican that's challenging. I need to look to see if you have a Democratic challenger. But what I will do is I'll also, in the email that I send you, I'll send you a link and a phone number for the West Virginia Democratic Party. And that way you can actually call them and they'll tell you who's running.
Okay. All right, I appreciate it. I gotta wait on. I'm waiting on a phone call from my caseworker on that to find out if I get any more. Right now, I'm getting less food stamps for all these high food costs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm only getting $126.
Yeah, that's definitely not enough. It's not enough to live on.
Yeah, because I try to buy the cheaper stuff, but the beef and meat and stuff like that is getting out of hand.
It's very out of hand.
And that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, I appreciate your input and your help and everything, and I definitely will be voting Democrat this year in the
okay.
November election.
I love it. You let me know,
All
and
right, thank
I'll get
you.
this email out to you by tomorrow. That way you have it when they call you back, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right, honey. You have a good one.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Damn.